Hey, this is Jim from His Nature Farm, and I welcome you back for another video. I had a pretty popular video about our mess up with the generator, and I want to talk to you about that. And I also want to talk to you, and actually, I need your help for something else. Stay tuned. I wanted to just share with you some of the comments that I received. Just a quick recap. Essentially, if you watched the last two videos ago, we discussed the issue we had with our generator, backup generator for our totally off-grid system. The backup generator was blowing stuff up in the building. I don't mean literally blowing stuff up, but what I mean is it was blowing out some of our electronics, costing us a lot of money. So I got a lot of comments on what was going on, a lot of comments. And first thing I want to say to you all, I want to thank you for just giving me the comments, both good and bad. This comes with the nature of the job, I guess. But you had a lot of comments. Some people just very gracious. Some others have a lot of truth, I'll say it that way. And some others, well, man, I don't get it, but whatever. Ultimately, they are all valuable. And I read a lot of them, and I considered a lot of them, and I made a lot of calls, let's just say, and did a little consultation. But first I want to read you some of the comments, because this is going to play into the video today about this bonding issue, neutral bonding issue we had with the generator. So let me read them real quick. Bonding is only at the main panel. If you bond after that in the sub panels, you are risking major electrocution. Grounding wire and neutral needs to remain separate after the main panel. I'll comment on that in a minute. Another one, sir, you need to stop using this generator. That is a square sine wave. You need to buy an inverter generator with a clean sine wave. That will blow all the electronic boards in your home. Eventually, they will overheat with that square wave and the generator puts out a dirty wave. Buy an inverter that puts out clean electricity. I'm going to address all this in a little bit here. But first, I want to show you the system, because I never showed you that. I want to show you what we got. All right, first I want to point out we are totally off grid, meaning we have no grid backup power whatsoever. That's the first thing. Second thing is we have two buildings here. This big old building behind us where we live, and we have a second home about 1,300 square feet. Both of these are on this one solar system, period. That's all we have for electric, okay? And it's comprised of 40 solar panels. We have 30 sitting on the roof, and we have another, well, almost 10 sitting out here that we're going to mount differently here next spring. But I wanted to first tell you that and show you this. Next, let's go take a look at the actual inverter and the batteries. All right, so we're in our solar utility shed. Essentially, in this building, we have our solar panels, our solar system, as well as our water and stuff like that, our pump and that sort of thing. So here's our EG4 18K. This is our inverter, okay? This puts out 18 kW on surge, 12 kW on sustainable. So it could do 12,000 watts sustained. And then it could surge up to 18,000 watts if you have startups and stuff like that with, with HVAC and that sort of thing. And here are our batteries. We have three of them. These three batteries are ProWall 15 kilowatt hour batteries. We have three of them. Thus, we can make 45 kilowatt hours of power. Okay? Really simple the way this works. We get our PV solar panel coming into here, photovoltaic power coming in. Now, I had a lot of comments on this system, and some of the things I got, and here's the one that I quoted a little earlier. The issue was with the neutral bonding in the main panel. Well, here's the first thing. We don't have a main panel. This would be the main panel, okay? Because this in itself has its own breaker, its own 200 amp breaker, okay? So this comes from the factory, and this is not bonded. And I did call Signature Solar, spoke to their great tech there who helped me out. This is not bonded. So you have to bond, meaning you're taking what would be called a bonding screw. Let me show you this real quick when we're talking about bonding. This is a panel. When we're talking about bonding, it's really simple. These are the neutral bars, both sides, each leg, 120 volts each. So you put two of them together, that's 240. And here are the neutral. Here's the neutral, and it crosses over, and this is the neutral bar. Then you have a ground bar which mounts to the side of the panel. that ground bar is also grounded with the box. What does neutral bonding mean? Here it is right here. This is a neutral bonding screw. And when we talk about neutral bonding, we're taking this screw, inserting it in here, tightening it up, and what it does is it takes this screw, joins this neutral bar to the box, thus to the ground. Okay? That happens only one time in the system. And yes, he is correct when he commented, he said it should be in the main panel, but we don't have a main panel. So therefore, the closest panel we have is in the building. So our one panel was bonded, and that's all we did. And remember, if we go back to the video, the other issue was we had a second bond in the generator that was hooked up. And let's be clear, it's a 4-wire. I don't want to get in the weeds here, but it's a 4-wire generator. We have the 2 legs, we have the neutral, and we have a ground. So we have a 4-wire connection coming into this panel here, into our inverter. Okay, again, I don't want to confuse everybody. But essentially, that would create, if that generator is bonded like this, if this is bonded, the same thing where we're joining the neutral to the ground, that would create a double bond in the system. A lot of the comments were it's a floating neutral. It's not a floating neutral, because I checked the whole system. It wasn't that. I'm going to say this really clearly. When I first did this and I made the mistake and we turned everything on in the building and we had all those issues and it happened 2 to 3 times, I blew out stuff a couple of times. When I solved the problem and took the bonding off the generator, ever since we've done that, we have no issue at all. So for all the comments of saying that is not the issue, you are incorrect. At least in our situation. I'm not saying that you are incorrect totally. I'm just saying in our situation, it wasn't correct. It did solve all the issues. Now, yesterday was Thanksgiving. We had a lot of power going through this place. We had the double ovens on, drawing 8,000 watts at one time. It was crazy. And I had the generator on, no issue at all, 0. So we've used it several times and it has solved the problem. So it is a confirmation that for our issue, the double bonding was a problem. So I wanted to point that out first and foremost for you guys. Another comment, which I think is really important, which I do think is really, really awesome, and I think these are all really valid. Sir, you need to stop using that generator. That has a square wave. You need to buy an inverter generator with a clean sine wave. That will blow all the electronic boards in your home. Eventually, they will overheat. With that square wave, that generator puts out a dirty wave. Buy an inverter that puts out clean electricity. He's right. The square wave versus a smooth, clean wave, and that's true. That is a true thing. So his recommendation was to get an inverter generator. And he is right. An inverter generator would absolutely be better. It would be a bit cleaner. But what I did, just to make sure that that wasn't the issue, on the website, when you can log into your system here, you have an app that works with this EG4, but you also have web access to that, which gives you some more options. And one of the options is you can take a look at the hertz in a chart form over the days, and you could see if you have any spikes. And we have had none. The spikes ranged from 59 to 61 hertz. So we really didn't have any really dirty power that really would have caused the issue. And absolutely, an inverter generator, much cleaner power. I agree. If you want to go get one of those instead, probably a better idea. Another idea was that someone right in the beginning posted that we should get a Chargeverter. A Chargeverter essentially charges the batteries directly. And I want to point this out really quickly. I guess many inverters are different. I don't know about many inverters. I just know about this EG4. And by the way, we're going to need your help coming up. And I'm going to have you guys help me in making a big decision here coming up. So stay tuned to the end of the video. A Chargeverter directly charges the batteries. When you have a backup generator, and I want to point this out, this is something I did not know. When you have a backup generator, what happens is when you turn that generator on, it feeds the loads first, meaning the usage in the house. Then, with anything extra, it charges the batteries. There is no way, as far as I know, and even the rep there at EG4, there is no way to just charge the batteries directly. Okay, I want to be clear, there's no way to do it. So a Chargeverter essentially is a battery charger that you hook your generator into, and it only will charge the batteries. And that was a couple of solutions where it would not then spike and it would not burn anything out in the house because you're only charging the batteries, which is a great idea. And you can get that. Signature Solar does have it. And I also would want to remind you, if you are in the market for a solar system, or at least you want to find out some more about it, the guys at Signature Solar, which is we have our affiliate link in the comments, I think they've been great. We just had a good friend of ours buy a whole system from them, and we did it because of their tech support and their backup, and they've been great. They really have been great. So I'm promoting it, and yes, I do have an affiliate link, and we do get a little bit of money from that, and it does support the channel. But I'm suggesting that because it's something that I use myself, and I recommend it to one of my good friends. So just like him, I'm recommending it to you, because they're a good company and they do a lot of good work, and we really appreciate them. So anyway, you can get that. I think that is a great alternative if you're getting nervous about this sort of thing. So really, when it comes down to it, the solar that we have here is a regular generator that I bought online. It's a Westinghouse 8500 watt generator on propane, and it works fine. And ever since, it works fine. Now, what it does not do, just to recap real quickly, it does not start automatically. This inverter does have the ability to, when you hit a certain level of state of charge, SOC, the generator will start up automatically, which would be great. But there's no way to do this as far as I know with this type of generator. I didn't want to spend $2,000 to $3,000 at this point with a little more a generator that I can do that. I was just trying to get through. So anyway, this is our experience so far. And I really love having you all as part of the community to help, get me straight, or I can hopefully add some clarity to some of the situations. So with that being said, I want to ask you something. Okay, this is where it all began with our generator. And this brings me to the real purpose of this video. Here's the reality. Thanksgiving was yesterday. It was cloudy. It was cold. Our power was running low. I started this generator. It worked. It worked fine. However, it's not going to be enough. The reality is we need to have an improved system. We have to improve it because we are totally off-grid, and we don't have any other backup solutions here that we can go to. So I need your help. There's a lot of you who have an incredible amount of knowledge. I think I'm better when I have all your input. And I'm going to make this challenge. So we are going to add something to improve this system. I just do not know what we're going to do. So I'm going to give you 3 options, and I need you guys to comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know maybe your experiences and stuff like that. We're off grid. The question is that off grid? All right, propane. I'll be honest, I don't think that's off grid. If I got to get a propane delivery, it's not really off grid. And the reality is that I have a family and I have a responsibility to that family. So we have this generator. That's our first option. We can get a bigger generator. We can get Generac in here. We can get a large 24 kW generator wired directly into this, right into this 500-gallon propane tank, and it'll automatically come on, it'll automatically go off. We can do that, and it will run everything. It'll run this building, it'll run the new house, it'll run it all. But it will be running quite a bit, and we will be getting propane deliveries to manage it. It kind of is not the best thing that I really want to do, because I feel like I'm cheating. To be honest with you, I feel like I'm cheating. But I got to do what I got to do. The positives are it's going to work. It's probably going to be in a warranty, right? The negatives are it's kind of cheating. I got to use propane. I got a bill, right? Is that smart? I don't know. Let me know what you think. That's the first option. The second option is we could go to the grid. We could bring up power poles up to the rest of our property. We need about another 3 poles. And by the way, I want to mention this. All of these solutions are about the same price. How much is it? About 10 grand each, roughly. Bringing the power up here, getting grid backup up here, hooking that grid backup right into our inverter would be a backup solution. It requires me getting those 3 poles up here, getting it hooked up, about a $10,000 job. Again, I don't feel good about it because it is kind of cheating, and I'm going to have a bill. What do you think about option 2? The third and last option I'm going to entertain is, well, more of these right here. Some more EG4 batteries. We can do that. We actually have a spot for 2 more already wired in, just about ready to go with their boxes. So I've planned for it, but 2 more probably won't cut it. I'm probably going to need at least 3 more, maybe 4. Now, there is an issue with that as well. You got to charge these bad boys, okay? And we have 40 solar panels, and this inverter will only take 40 solar panels, okay? So the negative is you can only charge so fast. And if you have extended time for 2 days with clouds and really overcast or snowy or whatever, you're not going to charge these batteries up. On the other hand, you could use a simple battery solar backup the way we have it with these batteries on those really off days, those rare days. That's obviously a lot more rare. But it does take some time to charge these bad boys up. And yes, 3 batteries, if we got 3 more batteries, you're looking at about 10 grand, maybe a little more. Okay? But that's the purest way to go. And yes, they work fantastic. I'm not going to lie. There is a literally set it and forget it kind of thing unless it's cloudy. So, and we are limited on our solar PV input because of the limitations of voltage and stuff like that with our panels. So that's the third option. Should we go with more batteries? So I'm putting it out there. Now, I respect all the other possible options out there, windmills and all sorts of stuff. I don't really want to do any of that. I just want to do one of those 3. So if you would just kindly, give me comments and give me input. We're going to make a decision based on your input solely. I'm going to look it up. I've done research that I can do, but honestly, at this point, there's not much more I can do. I get kind of the pluses and minuses, but there's a lot of things I'm sure I have not totally thought about. So I really want you guys to just think about it with us, to kind of walk the journey with us, and I'm going to spend the money on this new system based on your comments. And then we're going to put it in, and we're going to see how it does. So again, I just thank you for all the comments and all the things that are going on. I hope this is going to be instructive for all of us as we go along the process and kind of do this together. Because let's face it, no matter where you are, you're going to have the same issues if you're totally off grid. So anyway, I'm so excited for the new year. We're going to make this decision probably in the next couple of weeks. Doesn't mean we're going to put it in the next couple of weeks. We have weather and stuff to consider. But we're going to make this decision, and we're going to let you know. We're going to bring you along throughout the process. And however we do it, whether we're adding batteries or getting a new generator or we're hooking to the grid, we're going to kind of show you that and kind of how that works. So anyway, this has been great, and it's been wonderful. We want to wish you guys just a happy Thanksgiving, and remember to just like and subscribe to this channel. It goes a long way to just helping us along on our homestead. And we have some exciting stuff coming to you in the new year. So this is Jim from His Nature Farm. You have a blessed and thankful day.